Al Gore refuses to give direct answer when confronted over bogus 2006 claims on climate change. Former Vice President Al Gore failed to directly answer a question recently about some of his controversial climate change claims during recent press availability for his newest documentary on the environment. In his life post-White House, Gore has spent much of his time advocating against climate change and global warming. He released a world-famous documentary in 2006 titled An Inconvenient Truth. Many of Gore's predictions in the documentary never came true, so 11 years later Gore decided to release a sequel to his first film. The movie, which is set to release this week, is aptly titled, An Inconvenient Sequel, Truth to Power. According to a synopsis, the film follows the efforts made to tackle climate change and Al Gore's attempts to persuade governmental leaders to invest in renewable energy, culminating in the signing of the Paris Climate Agreement in 2016. Nicholas Balassi, a correspondent for PJ Media, recently confronted Gore over his 2006 claim that the world would reach a point of no return within 10 years if countries around the world didn't take drastic measures to counteract what he saw as man-made global warming. Looking back on that prediction, why did you make the prediction at the time, and are you making a new one right now given the current circumstances? Balassi asked Gore. Well, first of all, we've seen a lot of progress since the first movie came out. We have the Paris Agreement now. The cost of renewable energy has come down so quickly that people are switching over. Unfortunately, some elements of the Earth system have crossed a point of no return, Gore said. To expand on his comments, Gore explained that a big chunk of the West Antarctic ice sheet makes a considerable amount of sea level rise inevitable in the future. Gore, however, did not offer facts to back that claim. As it happens, Antarctic sea ice has been in the news recently. Earlier in July, a chunk of ice reportedly the size of Delaware broke off from Antarctica. Climate change alarmists seized on the opportunity to blame man-made climate change, but facts say otherwise, as most scientists have deemed the occurrence to be part of the natural iceberg forming process. Later in his interview, Gore seemingly took a shot at President Donald Trump, who earlier this summer controversially pulled the U.S. from the Paris Agreement on climate change. We still have the ability to stop short of other points of no return, and we now have the solutions available to really solve this crisis, Gore said. We need the political will, but political will is a renewable resource. When pressed over what catastrophe Gore specifically envisions should the U.S. not take the steps he believes it should take in response to climate change alarmism, Gore failed to provide a substantive answer. Gore said, I'm very optimistic because the entire world has now reached the agreement in Paris to go down to net zero global warming pollution as early in the second half of the century as possible. Many countries are making dramatic changes now and, regardless of President Trump's statement about the Paris Agreement, our governors and mayors and business leaders are stepping up to fill the gap. I think we're going to meet our obligations under the Paris Agreement regardless of what he does. Though he gave a long-winded answer, Gore did not list a specific event that might happen should the U.S. not go along with the Paris Agreement.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my STC News channel. Goodbye and see you again.